And hello again, Warriors fans. I am Scott Warris, and we are pleased to feature yet another Conference Athlete of the Week for the third time this season. And for the seventh time in his career, senior Zeke Micheel is the NACC Men's Track Athlete of the Week, continues to put together a stellar senior campaign. And Zeke, congratulations on what you did over the weekend. A conference and school record in the mile. You beat your own record. And you set a new conference mark as well of 4:15.55. You know, my first question is always, take me through the race, take me through the week that was, and why that race and that mile was so effective and you were so good.
Yeah, well, I guess leading up like all week, me and Coach were just mainly thinking about running a 3K instead. I only got in one of those like right at the beginning of the season in Parkside, and so yeah, we were really pretty set on the 3K until we kind of just saw what entries were looking like in some of the meets. You know, we could have gone to Carthage or to Ripon or even Wartburg this weekend, and it just looked like the entries were the best suited in the mile at lacrosse specifically. So, we made that decision about Wednesday or Thursday, and then you know, felt good in the workouts leading up to that last week, and yeah, I was just got ready to get after it at lacrosse on Saturday. And so getting into the race, we knew it was going to be really, really fast. Me and my teammate Isaiah were seated with a 4:19 and a 4:20, and we were 9th and 10th out of 10 runners. So it was going to be very competitive, and we just had to get ready to, you know, get on a really hot pace right from the start. So,
at what point in the course of the mile do you, or does it start registering that the pace you're on could be record-setting? I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you know the record going in?
I did, yeah.
You know the time that to beat, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah. I knew that as long as we were hanging on to a pack of lacrosse runners, that we would be able to, you know, be right around there. So I think we came through halfway or 800 in about like 2:05. So we were on pace to run about 4:10, and that was feeling pretty tough right around there. So we did slow down the second half, but still hung on just enough to get the record there.
So you set a new mile record at WLC. You beat your own record, which you set just a couple of weeks ago. And the conference record had stood for a little over 4 years, so a new conference mark in the mile as well. I'm going to ask you a really basic question from a layman's perspective. Deciding to compete at lacrosse as in this final qualifier, these last chance meets, can you explain for folks when they see that, what does it mean last chance? What does that mean?
Well, I guess for a lot of people, the conference meet is the last opportunity that they'll have to put up a PR or maybe go after a school record or chase a national qualifying time. And so a lot of schools like to host these last chance meets just in case, just to give some athletes an extra chance to try and maybe throw down a big PR or you know, go after a national qualifying time. And
that's why it's last chance. All right. I've seen that, and I wanted to ask that question. In the course of a race, and maybe this was the case over the weekend, maybe not, you tell me, can you find yourself in the zone, so to speak? You know, you hear athletes in all sports talk about, you know, maybe some of their really special performances, and they'll say, man, I was just in the zone. I mean, it was just a special day. Everything was going right. Runners find themselves in that zone as well. Do you find yourself in that zone from time to time?
I think so, occasionally. Like, I think it's best described as when you're able to just like fall asleep during a race and just hang on the back of somebody else, and like the laps kind of just tick away, and you kind of don't really notice, I guess, how tough it is.
How painful it is?
For most of the race,
I don't know.
Yeah. You definitely start to notice it towards the end of the race, but when you're trying to close it out. But I guess, you know, if you can get the laps to tick down and not have to look at that lap counter every single time you come around, it definitely helps a lot. So,
when did you know that you were going to be able to excel in running cross-country season and now track season? I mean, Was there a race or a moment in high school even where you thought, you know what, I'm pretty darn good at this. God has blessed me with an ability here. Was there one moment at some point in your life where it kind of clicked, or you kind of realized what you could do with this?
Yeah, I mean, I was never super fast in high school, and so I was really just thankful that I had the opportunity to keep running here. But I think it was probably our regional race in cross country my sophomore year. I ran like about a minute PR and was second for our team, and so that was the best I had done up till that point. And so I think it really gave me a lot of confidence going into that track season, and I had I PR'd in a lot of events and had a really successful track season my sophomore year. And so I think most of the confidence just came from that one race in cross season.
What advice would you give to young people, grade school, let's say, or maybe freshman, sophomore of high school, who are trying to pursue a collegiate career or just want to run competitively? What advice would you offer as they're starting out?
I think something that's been really important for me has been just making sure that you're not training so hard that you lose the enjoyment of running, so that it doesn't become, you don't tie all your personality to how successful you are in running. I'm really thankful to have like the team around me, and that makes training so much more enjoyable. And so it's definitely helped my love for the sport, or helped me maintain my love for the sport while going through all the hard training. And so, yeah, I think just making sure you're always having fun. Even on the tougher workout days, so it gets a little tough. But
hey, speaking of workouts, so we got about a 2.5, maybe a 3-week stretch here without competition until the outdoor season starts in earnest. What does this mean for you and your teammates in terms of preparing for that? I know you're not going to be laying on the couch eating potato chips and things like that. How do you prep now? What are the next few weeks like without an official competition on the schedule?
Yeah, so I mean, this week we've got some longer tempo workouts, we would call them, a little slower than most of our race paces, so just getting out for some longer reps, and then we'll do some hill work too, get off the track a little bit in this break between indoor and outdoor, kind of just refresh ourselves and get ourselves ready for the start of outdoor season in a couple weeks.
Well, spring break is coming around here real soon at WLC. So you got a chance to kind of clear your mind, like you said, off the air, maybe get home a little bit and recalibrate and reset for the home stretch. The Zeke and the team will be at Transylvania on the 23rd of March with the outdoor campaign. All right, Zeke, you know how this goes. We've done this a few times. I hold in my hand before we let you go 3 note cards. There are 3 sets of questions on those cards. Pick a card, I'll ask you those questions. All right, you have chosen card C, and the questions are as follows. First answer that comes to mind. By the way, we have now officially turned the page to the spring season, so these are brand new questions. They've never been asked to anybody before. Zeke's the first of our spring questions. Here we go. Waffle bar or omelet bar?
I'll go waffle bar.
Your biggest fear or phobia?
I'm not a huge fan of heights. So.
Can you whistle?
No.
Prove it.
Cannot. I don't think it's worth attempting. So.
I tried. Okay, what is your dream job? If you can script your career path, what's the dream job?
I've been over the last couple of years, I've been a pretty big Formula One fan, and so doing something like engineering or some engineering job on a Formula One team would be a pretty cool job to have.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
I don't know if I've met anyone super famous, but I saw Post Malone at a Texas Roadhouse once. So.
Did you go over and say hi, or no?
He
just
did
take pictures from a distance?
He did have bodyguards, so we did not think it'd be a great idea to approach him. We just let him enjoy his meal. So.
Throwing his peanut shells on the floor like everybody else?
Yep.
At Texas Roadhouse. I love it. All right, that's good. And your wild card question, Zeke, is this. If you were not a runner, what other sport would you have liked to pursue and excel in and be as successful in as you are as a runner?
I played some basketball in high school, and that was something I really liked. That was definitely the main thing I was focusing on in like grade school, and even the first couple of years of high school. I'm not as good at basketball as I am at running, I guess, but I did have a lot of fun playing basketball.
Yeah.
So.
All right, there he is, Zeke Micheel, 3-time NACC Men's Track Athlete of the Week, 7 times now in his career. Enjoy spring break. Enjoy the fun runs you're going to get until competition cranks up again at the end of March. And thank you for watching.